During vacation, one of the games that I've been playing a lot of, besides Opera Omnia, is Octopath Champions of the Continent. The global version of the game came out when I was on vacation and I decided to play it. I have to say this, it's one of the best mobile games I've ever played. From the amazing gameplay, to the great story, to the great written dialogue, to the numerous amount of characters you can interact with, I overall think it's a really fantastic game. However, at the time of recording this, I have since dropped it. I dropped it a couple weeks ago, pretty much as soon as I came back from vacation. I haven't played it since, and I'm going to explain why. I have three main reasons as to why I dropped Octopath. First being the Gacha Mechanic, the second being the sheer amount of grinding you have to do in the game, and the third being my personal experience with the community. Let's start with the first, the Gacha Mechanic. As I've said before, the gameplay, the story, the dialogue, everything in Octopath COTC regarding to those 3 points is absolutely stellar, splendid, fantastic. I would change almost nothing about it. In terms of games, it's some of the best I've seen in a very long while. But since it's a mobile game and it's a gacha game, we have to talk about the Gacha Mechanic. The Gacha Mechanic for this game is painful. It is painful because it's not necessarily a bad gacha system, but it's something so different from the normal gacha system that I prefer. The way Octopath COTC works, you grind up gems or rubies in this game, and you pull on banners. The cool thing about these types of banners is for every new featured unit, when their specific banner expires, they don't necessarily disappear from the game. You can still pull for the units. They're added onto the already existing pool of units that you can pull on every banner. And I think that in of itself is a really cool idea, and I think a lot more games should do that. The problem with this gacha system is that grinding rubies is absolutely painful and tedious. You're easily going to be grinding 3 to 5 plus hours just to multi-pull once. And the thing with these multi-pulls is, unless you finish the last step of a step-up banner, there's no guarantee you're going to get a 5-star unit. Even if that 5-star unit ends up being 4 stars when you pull it, there's no guarantee that you're going to get any of that. It's very possible when you do a multi-pull on a banner that's not a step-up, you're going to be absolutely cucked, and all of the units that you pulled might be just 3-star. That's not fun to me, and especially since I've been grinding for a couple of hours just to multi-pull once. I get an entire row of 3 stars. No, I don't like that. Here's why I say it's not necessarily bad. It's because, like I said before, every new unit who comes eventually gets added to the regular pool of units that you can pull for, regardless of the banner. So if you play the game long enough, you're eventually going to get a lot of the 5-star characters that you want. However, the process of getting them is extremely slow. So unless you save a crap ton of rubies, which takes probably 10 plus hours of farming at least, Octopath COTC doesn't have a gacha system where you can just immediately pull on a banner of a new unit and immediately get that new unit so you can try him or her out immediately. It's not that type of system. You have to be patient and you have to be willing to not necessarily get the unit that you want immediately, the minute or the day the banner comes. You most likely will get the unit eventually, but it might not be until, say, 3-4 months, even a year ahead of time, if your RNG is that bad. For people like me who might not necessarily have that amount of patience, I really dislike how this gacha system works. And like I said before, it's not necessarily a bad gacha system, it's just something very different and something that I really don't prefer. The second reason why I dropped Octopath COTC is the grinding aspect. The grinding aspect is absolutely atrocious, not even including grinding for rubies, even just grinding for levels, period. Even if a new banner comes and you multi-pull on it and you, God bless, actually get the unit the day of the banner drop, it's going to take quite a lot of time for you to level up that character in order to access its top level moves or its top level effects. You have to do this painful and tedious process of going to the Kate Hunt menu, watching ad after ad after ad, and resetting the game over and over again just so you get the right cat to get the most experience. And if you want to level up your character as fast as possible, you have to do that every single day. For me, I don't like that. I don't want to have to watch a shitty mobile ad of Ebony or frickin' Mobile Legends.
Hey, what the hell are you doing? Who is this guy?
Liar, leave me alone.
Stop it. Get some help.
10 times in a row every single day if I want to level up Primrose. It's not, no, why would I do that? However, if it was just the EXP aspect that had a painful grinding process, I would have been fine with it. The game is so good, I would have put that aside. I would have let it slide. However, we have to talk about the ruby grinding. The ruby grinding is by far the worst grind in the entire game. To multi-pull on a banner that's not a step up, you need 300 rubies. Every single mission, which takes around, say, 20 or 30 minutes each, most of the time only gives you 10 rubies. And even if we're including the rubies that you get from the daily missions and the influence, it can take up to 15 hours of grinding in order to multi-pull once. You don't even get a guaranteed 5-star unit with that multi-pull. You can still get cucked after 15 hours of grinding. I'm not with that, all right? That's not my vibe. I want to talk about number 3, my personal experience with the community. I stress saying my personal experience with the community. My experience with the community is not necessarily everyone's experience with the community. When I tell you guys about my experience, it's not a generalization that the entire community of Octopath COTC is absolute cancer. It's not. I'm sure there are a lot of cool, chill people who play the game, and I've interacted with a lot of chill people from the game. However, this is one of those situations where 1 or 2 bad apples just completely ruins the entire basket for me. So a little bit ago, I stressed my concerns of the grinding aspect and the gacha aspect of the game and how I don't necessarily like it. I vented this on an Octopath text channel in a specific server. I'm not going to disclose what server this is. 1 or 2 people really grinded my gears and kept on acting like I was the idiot for having a problem with the Gacha Mechanic. It was someone who would just not accept that there were any problems with the game and that the game is perfect and I'm the one who needed to fix my attitude. And maybe to some aspect that's right. Maybe I needed to be more patient whenever I played this game, and maybe I shouldn't have the mentality that I want the unit the immediate day it drops. However, I can't just say that there isn't something that I find dislikable about the game. No game's perfect. I mean, it's a story-focused game. I don't care if it's a story-focused game. If there's an aspect of a game, regardless of what it's focused on, that I don't like, and that aspect is bad enough for me to consider dropping the game, then it's worth talking about. I don't care if it's a story-focused game. Yeah, the story was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I hated the gacha and grinding aspect so much that despite having a great story, I dropped it. So that reasoning makes no sense. Just complaining about the gacha in Octopath is annoying. Yeah, lately it's 24/7. It begs to question, maybe there might actually be a problem with the gacha mechanic, and it's not just me. If enough people say that they have a problem with the game, then I personally think it's something worth looking into as a game developer. If I develop a game and enough people complain to me that some aspect of this game is something not to their liking, I should probably take a look into that, and maybe I can add a couple tweaks into that aspect. I can't just say, oh, you're being annoying, why are you complaining this at me? Just play the game. That would be a terrible mentality to have. Even though the gacha system is the same as Eden, who cares if it's the same as Eden? I don't even know what Eden is. I've never played that game. That game gacha system probably trash too. It's just this elitism mentality that I hate so much. Not even just with Octopath COTC, but just in general. How could you be so elitist about a game that you actively excuse any problem that someone might bring up? Nothing in this world is perfect, so why are you even acting like it is? And like I said, guys, my experience doesn't generalize to the entirety of the Octopath community. There are tons of people that I've interacted with that are just super chill and understanding, and when I vented my problems with the gacha aspect, even if they didn't necessarily agree with me, they were like, yeah, I can understand the frustration. It's a bit hard to get rubies. That's what I like. But if you just yell at everyone saying, oh, they're wrong and the game is perfect, that's not gonna get anyone to play your game. Frankly, with me, my experience was bad enough that I don't even want to play the game anymore. I was so pissed off that I just decided to drop the game. I really don't even have time to play Octopath like that. So I really don't have the luxury of giving this game more benefit of the doubt because, like, frankly, I'm just sick of this shit. I don't know, maybe later I'll decide to play this game again because, like I said, this game is fantastic. This game is awesome. It's one of the best mobile games I've ever played in my life. However, my specific problems with the game are so bad and so annoying to me personally that I don't want to play the game at all. For people who love the game, for people who love playing the game, more power to you. Keep on playing Octopath because it is a great game. However, for me personally, despite it being a fantastic game with fantastic gameplay, fantastic fantastic storylines and fantastic characters, I really don't see myself playing this. So that's my whole 2 cents / vent about Octopath COTC. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Do you play this game? Do you not play this game? Do you like this game? Do you not like this game? Thank you guys so much for watching again. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye!